Shouldn't always try to look so good. 50 years can be gone in a blink of an eye. People never who you think they are, like you've never seen before. How the hell are you supposed to know? Just another friend drinking and doing blow. Paperbacks where they hit that dough, like you've never seen before.
Hey, everybody. Return of Jay here this weekend for us to finish up our REM extravaganza here. That we need a little more participation with this, guys. Come on. I mean, some of these ones that we've done, I'm just surprised people aren't more interested in. But remember, I'm telling you up front, smash that like button up front. I'm telling you up front, I would usually wait till the end of this. Smash the like button and please subscribe and leave your comments and your list as well. So what we're doing is we went through and we came down to 20, our favorite 20 REM songs, man. Do you want me to go first, Jay, or are you going to go for it? What was your general feeling going through all this stuff? You were talking about it right before we started there.
Well, like I said, I got into REM when I moved down to Tennessee back in '82. So their earlier stuff before they knew it was going to be their careers. I think their first 4 albums, you can almost see like, hey, this is cool. This is cool. Then about the third one, they're like, wow, this might be our career. We're really doing great. But what I liked about them in order is the ambiguity of their songs and all. And I joined the fan club, so I was into them in the early times. But let's get.
It is. It's funny. They started that whole thing, and really nobody did it as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got a lot of posts, but they really did it in a way nobody else could, I love it, man. Do you want to start it off, or you want me to start?
I'll start it off. Okay. My number 20 is, and this barely made it, but, I figured I heard it so many times, I listened to it sometimes, but it's Everybody Hurts from Automatic for the People.
Oh.
And that was one of those slow ones that were later. But, it's times like these and everything, it fit in real good. So that's my number 20 song. Everybody Hurts.
I got you, man. That's a good one. That's one that everybody will know. I guess mine's just I'm all over the place here with mine. But my number 20, I'm gonna put Listen to the Auctioneer from from not Pageant from what's that
Fables.
one? What's the third? Fables. I can't remember the name. But that's mine, man. Listen to the Auctioneer. I've got quite a few off of Fables for some reason, even though it's not my favorite. A lot of my favorite songs, which is kind of strange.
It's weird. I look at mine go in order. Like I'll have a bunch from one album, then a bunch from another album. It's cool how it panned out.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, man.
My number 19, I'm going to go with another one and get the ones that everyone's heard of out of the way first, but Stand. It was all right. It wasn't one of my favorites, but, it sort of brought them back and kept them going at that time. But, yes.
A lot of people put that on their ones that they really don't like. If there's some of the one when that album Green it just got under people's skin. They didn't like that Shiny Happy People.
Oh, I did not like that song.
Nobody did, but it was a hit. Somebody bought it. I mean, we sold the hell out of it in DC when I was there. Anyway, my number 19, I'm going a little bit obscure now. One of the newer records, Collapse Into Now, with Hollow Man. That's probably one of my favorite of the new thing. It just stays with me. For some reason, certain songs you hear and they imprint, and there wasn't a lot of that record that I thought was great, but that song was kind of somewhat haunting. I like the lyrics and I like the whole way that it was put together. It doesn't really sound like REM to me, but that's it's a great song. So that's I like it. That's number 19, Hollow Man from Collapse Into Now.
Yeah, I think that's true with a lot of people. The albums you listen to, like at the time of your life, like their first 3 or 4 or 5 REM albums, I played them nonstop over and over again. And then as you get busier, it's like, wow, one came out and I'll grab it. And if it didn't hit me right away, it might take me a couple days to even get through it. And that's not so fair. The music, if it had come out first, I might have loved that just as much. So, okay. So my number 18 is Can't Get There From Here from Fables. Going back to that. I just like the way it rocks. I saw that tour. And Can't Get There From Here. It's one of their.
Were you around here? Did you see it in the States, or did you see it any? Did you ever see them over when you were over in Europe at all?
No, I only saw them when I was in Tennessee. I think I saw the Lice Rich Pageant tour and a Fables tour before that. Saw 2 of them down there, and then I saw them once. Just a couple of them played when they did the Athens, Georgia release party at the cannery in Nashville. They showed the video, and a bunch of the bands that were in that video played. Bill Berry, everyone was there except for Stipe. So I actually drank a beer with Bill Berry.
Told me, and one of the band members called him like Stipe, right?
Yeah.
He called him called him by name. Well, they're starting to get money,
Yep.
get a little bit funny. My number 18 is from Life's Rich Pageant, I believe. I always like that record. I like the record. I think it's a positive. When it
Yep.
came out, I felt it had a little bit of a childlike feel to it, but at the same time, I thought it was positive in the way that Green was kind of childlike, but kind of silly. But Life's Rich Pageant was kind of childlike in stories and clothes you could wear, into your adulthood and morals and whatever everything else. But anyway, I like it. I like it a lot. That's my number 18, I believe.
Okay, my number 17, it's a little bit off the wall. It's from Reckoning, Seven Chinese Brothers. One of the reasons I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that is because when I was a little kid, I actually had read that paper about swallowing the ocean and all that. So I knew the story. I thought it was cool. They wrote a song about it. But Seven
You
Chinese
told me.
Brothers, swallowing the ocean.
And let's stay at the same record for my number 17, man, and the chaotic opener Harbor Code, where they're
Oh,
both seemed like different things. I love it, man. There's something about it. It was a comforting feeling to me. We would put that record on at the store and like, we're open, good. When that came out, all REM records came out. They were like made for playing in
yep.
record stores, man. People would buy them. People would come in and what's that? If they didn't know about it, then they knew about it. And, you either knew about it or you didn't. I knew very few people who really knew about REM and didn't like them. I mean, almost everybody did. That's my number 17, man. Harbor Coat from Reckoning.
Okay, my number 16, we just talking about it, comes from Life's Rich Pageant, Fall on Me. Like you
Oh,
said, I
man.
like the upbeat feel to it, and I like that whole album, man. It came out in the summer, right before I was going to Spain. I remember listening to it in Tennessee, water skiing on the boat.
Yeah.
Fall on Me.
Nice. Still great, positive, and
Yeah.
spiritual. Spiritual, but doing it in a tasty way, almost tongue in cheek in certain ways. And things. I love it, man. I think lyrics. He doesn't get enough credit. I think as a lyricist, I think he really, even though they mumbled a lot,
Yeah.
he did have words underneath it that were pretty cool. I'm going even further back than you are, dude. Number 16, we're going back to Murmur with Pilgrimage, just take momentum. Pop, pop, pop. I
Oh,
love that, man. So you can hear it's a band just starting, and they don't have great ability, but they can play together and make something that sounds good.
yeah.
And then they got the drive-in Mitch Easter with all the magic reverb and shit on stuff. Man, it's great. And then the birds, giving the birds back with that Peter Buck,
Yeah.
and man, it's just
I always
great
remember reading
stuff.
about is it the beginning of Pilgrimage when they recorded the pool balls up on
I think one of that or 20
oh,
was for that one
yeah.
song with the number around that time. Yeah, it's great, man. They're fantastic, man.
Okay, up for my number 15. I remember I got into this when I was over in Spain. It's from Out of Time and Near Wild Honey. I just like the way it flowed, and I think Mike Mills sang it, but it was sort of a country, just summery song, but Near Wild Honey.
That album from? What was it from?
Out of Time, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah. I didn't know that was Mike on the high party. It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Near Wild Heaven. I guess it is, man. Well, you'll hear it later on in my. It's Near Wild Heaven, yeah, but it's
Near
right
Wild
on
Heaven,
top.
that's right.
Yeah, I always say, well, you're thinking about the Beach Boys, man. Wild Hunt. No, number 15, I got from New Adventures in High Five. Yeah, I like a couple songs on that record, pretty good. And this is probably my favorite. Well, Zither is the name of it. Is Zither. It's a little bit different, man. There's a couple on this record that's just kind of and truthfully, one just missed. I was looking for Ebo, and that was my 21, but that just missed it. So, but anyway, Zither's 15. That's not the last you'll hear from that record. It's odd that it has such a. It sounds like an airport almost, like it was recorded like big, like they're moving or something. It's weird. It's just I don't know what it is about it, but it's got its own.
I'm not even
It's
familiar
you
with
know.
that one.
Oh,
Oh,
new adventure. Sci-fi.
I mean,
It's really weird.
read it, but I mean,
Oh, the
yeah.
song's Zither. Yeah, play it. Check it out, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty unique
Okay, my
in
number
their cat.
14, I got a couple fables coming up in a row, but Green Grow the Rushes.
Oh man,
Green Grow the Rushes. I just love those ambiguous songs where you just like, I don't know what the hell he's singing about, but I got my own version. I'm going to go with it. This is what it means to me.
And this
But
what
green,
and this
green grow, the rushes grow.
and that's from Fables too.
Yeah, Fables.
Wow, it's funny how Fable shows up.
Yeah, I got a bunch coming up in Fables. I can't believe I just because I named the
Well,
songs and I went through and put the albums.
I'm going right back there, and it's probably not a song that you're going to pick, but maybe they're maps and legends. Maybe they're thought of a thing. I love it, man. That's my number 14. Yeah, I love it. I love Fables. Fables is. It's funny how Fables. I don't know, man. I mean, you're almost taught, like in folklore, not to like it the best. You
Yeah.
know, you.
Well, the album
That's
covers suck.
thought of. Yeah, oddball. Yeah, the oddball one. I love it, man. I love it too.
That's wow. My number 13, Maps and Legends. That's actually what they opened up that tour with. They came out. It was a great opener.
As an opening song, that
Yeah.
is a trip. Neat.
The Maps and Legends is my number 13.
Neat, man. See, look at us, man. We're hitting to that. All right, I'm going back to New Adventures. I told you I had one more, and it's New Test Leper. New Test Leper. The weirdo
Yeah, I
song.
remember that one.
That's just a kind of a strange. I mean, I got a funny thing about that record. The reason why I got a funny thing about that record is I drove around in my car and just listened to it. It was one of those ones that you had in your car and you just when you just have a couple CDs and you don't, and I just listened to it over and over and over. And a lot of it was me, thinking, after a month or two, am I ever going to get this? Do I feel like it's like in the same? But then I think there's something about it that kind of keeps you. It doesn't allow you to like embrace it the way you do the early stuff. It's almost like it's got a sound of like being sterile or being like in a laboratory or something. It's weird. I like it. I like it a lot, but it's it could be a whole any of those records, those weird records that they made at the up in those, they could have been a whole takeoff point for a whole new band to just
Yeah.
come and make a whole thing. You know what got to me thinking about that the other day, man, and I don't know if you want to do it with me or not if you're a big fan, but I love Talk Talk. I think that's a great band. And I like them actually better than, and they're kind of in the same vein as some of those other was like Tears for Fears. But I just think their songs are so much better. Man, no doubt ruined that song. That one song that they talk, It's My Life. They it is so the Talk version is so much better, but it's they're techno. They're like
Yeah.
they're in the keyboards and stuff. But anyway, that's my new test leper. I kind of diverted there a little bit, but that's from New Adventures in Hi-Fi. I'm number 13.
My number 12, I'm sticking with Fable, Driver 8. I like all the rock songs, man. They just come out and bang out, and that was another good one I remember live. It just killed.
They played that a lot faster,
Yep.
didn't
Oh yeah,
they?
it was the almost punk
Around.
song when they played it live.
I love it. Well, that's coming. That's.
I like their
I should.
because I like their rock songs, like the garage rock, and then I liked when they slowed it down and did their atmosphere. It's like the next one.
Well, my number 12, man. Well, I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning and gardening at night. Gardening at night is my number 12. The song about, as we both suspected, is about trying to harvest a crop that's less than legal at the time. But number 12, gardening at night.
Okay, my number 11 again from Fables. It's one of the slow ones, Window G. I just
Oh,
love the way they played. They actually played that live too. Real slowed it down and down. That's when Window G. I just love that song, the chords and all the way it goes through it. But that's my
you
number
know
11.
what? We need to play a really. Oh,
You mentioned that, do a fast version of it. That's
it totally would not fit the thing of it. I always thought that when I heard that it was so mellow. I'm like, this and I love that like Sweetheart of the Rodeo or something. It would fit like on there or something. It's great. Wendell G number 11. That's great. Yeah, it was on but it was like 26 or something. It was on my thing. I went, I just ranked them all even beyond the number we were doing just to try to eliminate, okay, in what order do they go, kind of have a can section and then, but anyway, okay, number 11 for me is, and I think this is from Lights for Trade, World Leader Pretend,
Mhm.
number 11. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I like some of the political stuff. I like some of the stuff that he could kind of
Is that
slip
from
in there.
Green?
I think it may be. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I think it's from one of the later record, man. I'm not. I can look at it while you do your next one, brother.
Okay, my number 10 is again, it's off Life's Rich Pageant. And what sold me on this song was Peter Buck's guitar solo, Flowers of Guatemala. You know, until it gets to
Oh,
that, I
wow.
just love when it breaks into that. Nah, nah,
What?
it plays that guitar solo in it. But
You know,
Flowers of
and that's a
Guatemala.
totally different. Uh, that's a completely different. I would never have thought you to put that in because that to me sounds like really one of the things, and that's that's kind of sticks out. But shit, I mean that's not a bad
Oh,
not bad.
I just love
Oh,
that
let me
hit the
what.
solo when it cracks in there.
Oh yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna go with one of the new records, number 10. I don't remember which one it's on. I think it's on the one after Up. I'm talking about Imitation of Life. That is my number 10. That's which one is that on? What's one is that one on? I can't
Imitation of
they're
Life. Oh,
together to me.
I can't remember.
Da, 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 da,
I
da,
remember the
da.
song. I can't remember the album.
No one can see you crying. That's a oh, that's a great song. Anyway, that's my number 10, Imitation of Life. And it's funny, just a few years away from having these things in rotation, you just kind of some of these things just kind of drop. I admit that I don't play them that
Oh, there's
much as
some.
I
Yeah. I play a
yeah,
couple. I have a couple albums I play all the time. REM and get the others. And it's weird, you know. I won't play. I'll have all the albums, but like if I'm down at the Goodwill or something and I see an REM CD, I'll grab that and then just play it in my guitar till, or play it in my car till it falls apart. That's where I got. I was listening to Fables for a long time for one cracked up. Okay, my number 9 is also off Life's, and this song went from like when I first heard it, I thought it was the stupidest song, so I memorized every word and I used to sing it on the boat and sing it all the time, and I just messed with it so much it became one of my favorite ones. And Swan, Swan, Hummingbird.
uh,
Want to buy some bones, Captain, and weenie skin and all them. When I first heard it, I was like, "What the hell is he singing about?" And then it's one of them songs. The more I made fun of it to myself, the more I sang it, the more I end up liking it every time I hear it. But I'm sure that's not on many people's list.
yeah, okay, going back, you're right. Green World Leader Pretend is from Green, Imitation of Life is from Reveal. Reveal,
All
all
reveal.
the single name thing. Yeah, yeah. Number 9 for me is from the record that we kind of disagree on the most, Monster. I Don't Sleep, I Dream is my number 9. I just think it's just kind of a neat, the way that it's got that broken Peter Buck guitar thing with
Mhm.
that. I love that type of beat. I'm a big fan of tom tom driven songs,
I
man. I
remember,
so
I
have to
remember all
record one.
the hype when that album was coming out. They're back and all that, and I got it, of course, and listened to it, but I don't have one song off it on here.
Well, see, you know why? You know why? Because if you thought it all came down to whether or not you thought what's the frequency, Kenneth was stupid, but
Actually,
I don't know.
of all the songs, I like that song. It was the
Hey,
first
it
one out.
rocks. It's a
Yeah.
really good solo.
Okay, my number 8 is once again from Life's Rich Babbitt, Cuyahoga. I just like that
Oh yeah,
song. I Need a River. It was sort of like it had the environmental aspect to it, all
right
that.
by Cleveland.
Yeah,
Right, drove right by, go see Todd and Cleveland and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
the river that caught
Wow,
fire.
good one. That's a nice pick, man. I'm going to go all the way back to the. It's Simpleton in a way, but I'm talking about from, and they would probably never play this song. Maybe they would live. I don't know, but anymore. But I'm talking about going all the way back to Murmur, and I'm talking about dung 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 ding dung 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 bong dung. Empty hearted, talk about the passion. Call me in. I love the vocals, man. What a great
Oh, I
vocals on
like that
that's
that whole album.
the strings come in right at the right when the freaking thing. I mean, that's man. Yeah, he's a great Mitch Easter. He doesn't get enough credit. I like the Let's Active stuff he did too,
Yeah,
man.
I got.
He's
It was
yeah,
weird back
especially
then at that time. You'd get, I was into REM and it led me to Mitch Easter. and all that. Then like all those bands down there south, I remember like Guadalcanal Diary, Swimming Pool Cues. They all had albums
Yeah,
out, and I'd get to go see them live. And it was just a great time for music, man. 80,
it was.
82 to 90. It was just
I
unbelievable.
always thought that the Athens scene was a lot more diverse and a lot more inclusive than some of the other. I mean, after a while, all the Seattle bands were pretty much,
Yeah.
you know,
Cookie Monster Rebel.
bad heavy type of thing. But anyway, yeah, man. Talk about the passion. That's my number 8. We're down to 7 now, man.
Okay, my number 7, you already came out. It's from the EP, Gardening at Night. Once again, as
All
soon as I
right.
heard that, I said, "Oh, I know what this is about." And it's just
Well,
got
see,
that feel, that
yeah.
swampy kudzu covered REM. But yep, Gardening at Night off their EP. That's my number
Well,
7.
that was my number 12. So for Touche, I'm going to Pete your number 12, Driver 8. And that's my number. 12 is Driver 8 from the Great Fables as we've talked about. So we kind of talked enough about that one. So let's go to number 6.
My number 6, one big hit. This is actually, I think I got this album before I got the first one, and the fact that it mentioned a place close to my hometown, I love this. Don't Go Back to Rockville. Yeah, I still like that when it comes on. Stick it on the jukebox every once in a while. And I think Mike Mills sings
Oh,
that one too, doesn't he? That's got
what's
this.
that?
I think Mike Mills sings that one too, doesn't
Yeah,
he? Yeah.
yeah, he does. He does. And I wonder what he was. I always wonder what he's thinking about because I was,
I think he had a
I was,
girlfriend that went back to Rockville. It was actually pretty straightforward. He was dating
yeah,
a
I was.
girl. And
Yeah, I was in that area for a long time. My
my
band
brother,
store.
yeah, this is the song that my brother used to condemn me to everyone. He would claim I liked all those jingly jangly bands.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice harmony too, man.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm going to repeat one of yours, man. And what I forget what record we said this was from, but I'm talking about in this near wild heaven, not near in
I think it's Out of
doo-doo-doo.
Time.
Out of time. Yeah, well, that's otherworldly,
That was a good
when
album.
it
That's the same one they had
comes.
when they had the KRS-One that rapped on that one song with him.
Yeah, this is. I mean, this song, when the way they put it together with that harmony, that's just magic stuff. I
Yep.
mean, you get together and it happens, and it's that's born out of just drive and just relaxing, man. It's awesome. Anyway, I thought number 6, near Wild Heaven, which was your number 15.
Yep. My number 5 from Fables, Auctioneer, Another Engine. I saw that one live. It's another one of those ones just driving. If it's, a lot of times if I see a band live early and they play a lot of their songs that I like, it just reinforces them forever. And that's another one they sped up. But Auctioneer,
That's my
yeah,
take this and make it dime. Oh man, he would get worked up, wouldn't he?
yeah,
He'd get through that song. He'd start to get. You could tell he enjoyed that one. Snipe enjoyed playing that live. You could always tell, man. He got worked up. Yeah, I saw that one too live. That was great. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. Uh, you know, I all right, man. I'm gonna go number 5. Going all the way back. My favorite one from the first thing, and that's Wolves
oh
from
yeah,
the
Wolf
from
Lower.
the original record. That record back then, like those first 2 records, you could tell they were struggling to kind of execute, to even barely get to making a song. But that's kind of what makes them so charming. Kind of the Mission of Burma records are kind of like
Yeah,
that sometimes.
oh, Peter Buck loved Mission Berber too. Like I said, I
Yeah,
got into a bunch of albums. I joined their fan club, and they would always send you a letter, and Pete Buck would always include like a list of 10 albums you should go out and buy. That's why I got my one NRBQ album.
oh, nice.
Okay,
Yeah, they toured with.
up to my number 4 from Murmur, Pilgrimage. I just love
Oh
that
yeah,
song, Pilgrimage, skip it, all the background, the way he says it. I don't have no idea what it's about, but I just love the song.
that's my number 16. Well, now that you were talking about, and we talked a little bit about the auctioneer. Uh, uh, Something about songs I like that are revving up and like the vocals, like on Captain Beefheart, where the music cuts off and he's still going. Well, that happens on number 4 with me, and that's Life and How to Live It. I just think they get worked up, even on the recorded version.
Yep.
I love. It's funny how many of these songs, like I say, that you and I both from Fables, we might be like where the Fables fan club here. But I mean, if they're really emotional high points, I mean, the records are really. I think what makes Fables different is it's really was recorded over there in England, and it's kind of has a recklessness to
Yep.
it that's like it.
And it's
I
grown
think
on
they're.
me. It's grown on me.
Oh, yeah. I think of all the ones.
'Cause when it first
Uh,
came out, I was not into it. Then I saw them live and it sold me on it.
I
It
agree.
was a
Well, we
lot
just kept.
different than the first three.
Yeah, we just we kept playing it, so that was our big thing. But that's my number 4, man. Life and How to Live It. We're down to the big 3.
Okay, I'm looking back and it cracks me up, but I can sing them all. Number 3 for me, from Irma again, Sitting Still. I always remember so many times in my life, that's what I was doing, wasting time, sitting still, listening to an
You go.
REM album when I probably should
Well,
be
here
out
we
doing
are again.
something.
Yeah, here we are again, folks, with one of the few coincidences that we have. If you could see my list right here, you could see what my number 3 was. I'm not going to show you, but my number 3 is also Sitting Still.
All
We have the
right.
same exact freaking one in number 3. But you know why? Because it's a song that's almost like a cheerleading rah rah. It's just the momentum. It's got that like Thunder Hill Singers
Yeah.
like folk music. Let's all climax the song. I think it's brilliant, man. And that single stuff that you do pretty good, man. That single line
Wait,
picking, which I can't do
sitting
back
still.
then. I'm terrible in that. I'm terrible. You're much better at that naturally than I am. I cannot. It's difficult for me. But anyway, that's my number 3, Sitting Still. Yours too. Number 2. God, I don't think we're going to get the same number 2 and 1, but let's see.
My number 2, I'm up. Okay, my number 2,
Yep.
I was in Spain going through a romantic breakup or something, I thought, and this song just fit. It's summertime at the beach in Benidorm, and the way I would hear this song in Spain was the disco-fied version, but it's Losing My Religion off Out of Time. That's me in the corner. That was me at the time, but I just loved it. That mandolin kicked in, and I'm in Europe listening to it. And something about that little bit of mandolin just took me back to Tennessee in the first 2 albums. But Losing My Religion, even though it was a big hit everywhere, which usually means I don't like it, that's my number 2.
Well, you know what though, that they'll be remembered for that long after anything. I mean, they're more remembered for that. That song worldwide
Yeah.
was a mammoth hit across the country, and they really never had any. I think we looked when we did the other album thing. I don't think they had anywhere near success with anything close to that. That was like by
Yep.
far. Oh yeah, we were also surprised. I think by how their later records, which we thought were shitty, were all like
Yeah.
charted a lot higher.
Higher than the early ones.
Yeah, the classic ones. That's really strange.
I guess
I
that's
think
like,
it's.
I remember we talked about that, and I was thinking, like, normally back in the day, like, if I buy an older album for our age, we could catch
Yeah.
up. Like, my first Led Zeppelin
Right.
album was Led Zeppelin 4, and I'm like, okay, I got about the first 3
Yeah.
now. But,
Yeah.
I'm surprised people, like, my God, if you bought Reveal, you didn't go back and buy Murmur out, out the
Yeah.
others. It just blows
Yeah,
my mind.
we just had a curiosity, and maybe it wasn't at our fingertips like the list. I remember we had to even find out how many records there were. We had to like go to the
Yeah.
city or go to a record store, find out somehow through some way how many records they had and which one it was. It's crazy. But anyway, okay, man, that's your number 2. My number 2 might freak you out a little bit. I'm talking about the second single from Automatic for the People, The Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight. That's my number 2. That is one of the weirdest videos and weirdest things. I just thought it was cool. I like the rhythm of it. I like the demanding Michael Stipe, just incessant, just coming back with "Call me, try to wake me up." He's just continuously. It's like somebody that's gotten made neurotic by repetition. I love it. Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, number 2.
Okay, we're here for my number 1. This is probably one of the first songs I ever heard by him. I like the EP version. I think it was a 45, but Radio Free Europe. Come on.
Okay,
Radio
man. Great.
Free Europe.
That just missed mine. That was number 23 for me.
Yeah,
That
that's my number 1.
that's a great one, and that's one that that was one that original single's worth like
Yeah,
tons of money
I
now.
had
I
one
remember
and
I have that
left it somewhere.
years ago. I used to have a copy too, and but
I had
all
all
right. Well,
their,
that leaves my number one, and for my number one, I'm going right back to Automatic for the People and the closer on that, which stayed with me for forever. Find the River. That's my favorite REM song, probably, just because I don't know, there's something about it that, you know how you said Wendell G like
Yeah.
gets to you. It almost makes me want to cry too when I hear the there. I hear like a sad, a very sad. Even though that record, there's kind of a valedictory
Yeah. Well, as
portion.
I get older, Wendell G hits more home. You know, just like some old guys,
Yeah,
outliving
yeah,
his friends and shit like that.
yeah. There's
We talk about
bad just
45s. I have all the ones from the fan club. Used to send them one out every year. So I got
oh
three,
boy,
4 of
everybody
those.
now. If you guys want to, whoever wants a shot at those, if Jay's willing to sell,
My
like us
daughter's
here.
getting married. I'll be selling all my shit here soon, especially if
Oh
I lose
really?
my job.
Well, you're getting married, really?
My daughter.
Oh, your daughter's getting married. That's right. Well, we knew about that. Yeah, for sure. I thought
Nah,
he said he was getting like, whoa.
no, no,
No,
no,
we
no.
have a record, and we have a record coming out too, guys. So we're gonna be talking a lot about that. We come up, and some of the music you're gonna hear the bumper on this is some of that stuff. So,
Yeah,
anyway,
we should
thanks
do
for
a show and play some of the songs and tell them what they're about. I was listening to it again
well,
last night, especially like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Melvins
We're gonna
got to
get.
the Melvins got to cover the ass kicks.
Well, here's the thing I was thinking. If we do have that record release party, we should just do a podcast from there, and
Yeah,
and just Dino could be like the, since he's not one of us, could be like the one to master ceremonies. He likes the term rotten bastard, so
yeah.
maybe that would
We can talk
he could
about it
we
on
could
the way to game today. Go Mountaineers.
yeah. Well, we're going to Mountaineer game later, so all right, Jay, I'll be by to get you in a bit, brother. I'll see you. Thanks everybody for tuning in
People.
and we appreciate you. Leave your list, leave your thoughts, everything, and see you again, and we'll get Jay back on here as soon as we can, man. Thank you.
I got a friend in California. I get the crew, we're gonna join him. I got a ring of mess that comes alive. It got hot, too hot for fucking hillbillies. Just a split and it took off way back east. We had a fall, start to feel that heat.